This is Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. And if you are watching this video, I want to tell you that this video is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Phoenix Draconis coming with you with another toy review video. Now this week's video is the third-party masterpiece version of Megatron, Infinite Transformations 01, Emperor of Destruction. And from what I've seen in other reviews, this is a very close likeness to, the MP36 Megatron. I believe 36 was his number. Now, there has been another third-party version of the Masterpiece Megatron. I believe that one was Toy Factory, I believe. It's a very good likeness of him. There was a little bit of a difference here and there, but other than that, pretty awesome. Now I don't have that one. I've got this one for reasons that will become obvious to you in a moment. But let's go ahead and look at the box art. It's very plain, very G1 reminiscent, with the illustration of Megatron with the grid pattern at the bottom and the purple background in the back. Very reminiscent of the G1 styling. It's not as dramatic as the Toy Factory version of Megatron, where you have him looking up, you see the dark background with the blazing sun and all that. So it's like I said, it's going to be pretty awesome. Now, for those of you that have reviewed other, my other episodes, like from the very beginning, I did have an MP36 Megatron, and unfortunately, I had to go ahead and sell that for financial reasons. So I never did do a complete review on them. All I did was an unboxing. Hopefully with this, I will do a complete unboxing as well as transformation and so forth. Now, the only masterpiece figure that I do have at this point in time is is my masterpiece Blue Streak. Sorry, had a brain fart there. I did have a masterpiece Hot Rod. This was also basically a third-party knockoff. I did wind up selling him not selling him. I wound up training him for a Siege Springer, which I have yet to review. But a little bit at a time. So there he is, the box and everything. Let's see here. Now I'm going to go ahead and, oh goodness, should have taken him out beforehand. Now we have the side of the box here, which you see the actual figure posed up, pretty awesome looking. At least I'm hoping these are actual stills of this figure. They could have been stills from the Takara version. Now here we have the back of the box here. You see the prog shots and everything here. Now on the top left side, you have in big bold shiny metallic lettering that says Infinite Transformation IT-01 Emperor of Destruction. Now it says Emperor of Destruction began his life as a gladiator, built to fight in the brutal darkness of the Kaon pits. Now, unfortunately, they put Kaon in lower letters, because anyone that follows this franchise and its lore, Kaon, was the Decepticon capital. And yes, it does indicate that in Transformers lore that Megatron was at one point a gladiator. So they're trying to put in on there. Naturally, they're not going to say Megatron, but they are putting in some little things here and there. Now, it continues on saying, it was there that he learned the strong survive and the weak perish, and there that he became determined to be the strongest of all. His conquest began there and has since burned its way across the universe, which is pretty awesome. Now, down here on the bottom right, you have the ability value, which is, in its way, a type of tech spec rating. His strength and intelligence are at its max. Speed is probably an 8. Endurance a 9. Rank, courage, and fire blast, level up all the way to the max. And his skill is at a 9. So, again, you see the promotional shots of Megatron in full mode here. It says height about 260 millimeters. You see him, standing up with his fusion cannon. You see him holding the gun here. You have him with the helmet. You see him holding the key to Vector Sigma. You have him with the laser sword that he uses to slash across, Optimus's midsection. You also see the what they refer to as the meteor hammer. Oh, hang on, let me put this back just a bit. There we go. The meteor hammer over here. Then you have the fortress cannon, fortress as they put it. I'm going to call it the fortress cannon, since it's basically a throwback to the G1 Megatron, where if you can combine the stock, the barrel extensions along with his fusion cannon, it becomes a cannon unto its own right. Then you have his other accessories here all together, which includes the 3 faces, the busted up chest plate here, again the gun, the key to Vector Sigma. Looks like he's got the chain as well as the jointed chain, so you can have him in action poses, and the sword. So let's see here, and we got one more picture. Picture in the back, which shows pretty much, the Emperor of Destruction in his pelvic thrust mode. You also have the warning label saying that the product is only for persons over 12 years of age. Choking hazard: the product contains small parts and is not suitable for children under 3 years old. Care must be taken to avoid injury if any parts are broken by accident. And of course you have the same warning in I want to say it's Chinese. I can only assume that much. Let's see here, and I think that is about it. There is another illustration, or not an illustration, but another image of Megatron right there, but that is pretty much about it. So alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and there's some glare from the light behind me, so that's how come you're seeing that little thing going here. So I'm going to go ahead, take him out of the box, show off the accessories one by one, and then we'll go ahead and check out his posability as well as his transformation. Okay, so there he is, folks. IT-01 Emperor of Destruction, also known as, third-party Megatron. And he's got everything in front of him, just as I showed you on the box. From, his faces, the key to Victor Sigma, which is, wow, really die-cast. Check that out. And there was a mention that there'd be like some gold flakes, and as I'm looking at it in the light, that is awesome there. Wow, it's real metal here. Addition, you have his sword of betrayal, and it's got some really good molding here. I like the way they did the colors, like around the emitter here on the side. And I'm going to try and pull that off. It's like a lighter purple. That is awesome looking. And of course you have the emitter, which can also take that off. Can go on to his pistol of betrayal. And boom. Wow. Now, if I remember correctly, and it could be the lighting that I have, but it looks like this is a different shade of, I think this was a lighter, more translucent color in the official Takara release. This is a lot more darker, so it's freaking awesome. Go ahead and take that off, put that over there. Whoa, you know what? Let me put that back on too. There. Okay. Now, of course, we got the ball and chain, no pun intended. It's a little bit more clear than the official. It's got this nice little chain on here. But of course, if you take this off, there we go. That thing is on there real tight. Then you put, you put this on here. Boom, and you got where you can be able to have that on there. So it's a little bit more clear than the actual Energon ball. I'm going to go ahead, put that off, and put this back on. Oops. Now, one thing I'm afraid of, there we go, is that this chain will accidentally snap off. So I got to be careful with this. Now, another thing is this nice nifty helmet here, which will fit on there. And I'm going to go ahead and show off these accessories in a moment. You also have the battle damage chest piece, which basically you can remove the brand spanking new one, put this on here. And one thing that I did notice is they actually painted the inside of this. I don't remember if the official had paint interiors, but that looks awesome. Then of course we got the faces. Now, one thing I did notice and I'm pretty sure you're seeing it, he got that chrome metallic red for his eyes, which makes him stand out awesomely. It's pretty awesome here. So I'm trying to go ahead and keep him focus. Come on, focus. Focus, damn it. Shit. Thank you. Anyway, so this is his stoic face. Then we have angry Megatron with the same beautifully colored eyes. And I can see what a couple of reviewers were saying. in the open mouth that it's, you know, totally black in there, and that's pretty awesome looking. So, and then of course you have the busted up face where he's crying and leaking energon. So, and you still got those beautifully red eyes, and I do see a crack. Now, one thing that was mentioned, because I did see a review of all three variations of Megatron in this case, and that, come on, focus, thank you. Okay, so, oh, almost forgot one other thing. My arms are not that long, but we have Crimzeek making a return. Come on, Crimzeek. Thank you. And he's really clear. You do see the red. Oh, for God's sake. Sorry, folks. I'm over here fighting one of my stinking camera here. There we go. Thank you. So as you can see, you know, he's really clear yellow. He does have some red, you know, but you can barely make it out, especially with this crappy lighting. Again, that's something I need to invest in. There we go. So we got Crimzeek right there. But like I was mentioning earlier, you know, with the, I think it is Toy Factory, they did some brush ups within the cracked armor and the face, which made it stand out a little bit more. But I mean, from what I'm looking at, you know, it's not bad. Yeah, a little bit of some dark paint to accentuate the cracks might have helped a little bit, but all in all, I like it. I really do. All right, one other thing that I wanted to go ahead and show off was the Mega Cannon, or the Fortress Cannon, as it was referred to in the instruction book. Come on, focus. Now, this took a while because the brace, or I should say on the stock, you know, that has that little flat platform, you know, it's basically supposed to go against the shoulder in a way to stabilize it. But like I said, this is a throwback to the original G1 where that stock opens up like a stand, like it is now. The only difference is it was just one straight piece. This one kind of folds out, and that's another, there's two reasons for that. This is one of them, as a matter of fact, where you get that Fortress Cannon. Now, naturally, you can put Megatron's plasma rifle on top of this, just like in the G1. But I do wanted to show this off because this is a pretty awesome thing to have. And here we got on the bottom left. Oh my goodness. Bulkhead, there we go. We had Bulkhead, you know, lurking around the background, so sorry about that, folks. But nonetheless, you know, these are the accessories that he has on here. So I'm gonna go ahead, do some close-ups of the figure with some of the accessories, as well as the you know, the articulation and the transformation. Okay, and there he is, looking through his scope to fire his Fortress Cannon, and it's pretty awesome. Now, I did at one point have the Takara reissue of Megatron, you know, I would say about maybe a couple of years ago, and like I said, when hard times came, had to liquidate some stuff. So otherwise, I would have them both side by side. That would have made a great pick. Yeah, I just wanted to show that off because it's going to be very, very rare that I'm going to be able to have this, displayed in this form. So. Alright, let me get him out of the way and we'll take a closer look at his other accessories. Okay, so I was going to go ahead and put him on his flight stand, but for some reason it is not hooking up, so I'm not going to be fighting with this thing. So perhaps in another video, if I have it or I'm able to, then I'll go ahead and do an update. But for right now, as my dear old dad sometimes often says, or to loosely quote Cheech Marin in the movie From Dusk Till Dawn, fuck it. So, that being said, alright, putting that out of the way, and there we go. But we're going to revisit those pieces, the stock and barrel extensions, in a moment. So what we have right now is him with the helmet that he used to remote control a replica of Optimus Prime in one of the G1 episodes. I forgot the name, so don't bash me for not remembering. But once I get a Transform Elements Optimus, I'll go ahead and reenact that scene. But anyway, this is the first accessory that I have on here, which is pretty awesome looking. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead while I have that on him. And there we go. Straighten out that finger. And let's move some of these items out of the way. So yeah, I'm going to do some quick images of Megatron. Wow. I have them like so. Oops, hit the wrong button. Anyway, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and I'm going to go ahead and put on another accessory. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to have him holding the key to Vector Sigma. Dun dun dun! And screw it. I'm not going to be fighting with these things. Now, I did have him with Crimzeek earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and have those two there. Okay, so one of the things, because I don't know, I really sincerely doubt that this key can be held by Megatron. I have seen it held. I think it shows in the pictures that it was held. I guess you just gotta finagle with it, and I'm not gonna finagle with it right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and have him holding, let me get rid of Crimzeek, holding the lightsabers. Now, with all Masterpiece type figures, you got come on, focus, damn you. Thank you. You can tell they have some tabs on the side right there. Some really good molded detail. Like I mentioned earlier, I really like the paint. I really wish, though, from what I'm seeing now, that it goes all the way to the edge. But you know what? I like it nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead and put the sword in his hand. There we go. And one thing I'm noticing though, that with the, and I want to go ahead and just lower that down just a bit. So we have, ooh. Okay. So one thing that I noticed, you know, with the with this with the figure so far, it's not bad. Now I think it's probably because of when it was reviewed. The previous videos that I've seen before were reviewed about maybe over a year or two ago, and at that time when this came out, there was an extra plasma can that had Frank Welker's voice. Now, the types of batteries though that require on this, I'm trying to see if it's, come here you. Now, one thing I am not seeing is what type of batteries this damn thing uses. Unfortunately, when I got this through Buddy's Toys and Collectibles here in San Antonio, and I think this was, I don't know, this was brought to him like as a consignment, or from the factory itself, or from his retailer, whatever. But the only thing I got is the instruction sheet here, and this is what I'm going to be using to transform this. Now, like I said before, I know they require, I think it's LR44 batteries, which I don't believe I have here right now. Otherwise, I'd go ahead and show off the voices and the lighting feature. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on ahead. And I'm going to take this off. Take off that cannon. There we go. There we go. Let me put his hand or his finger back. I mean, it's a good figure. One of the things I've noticed so far is that it's got some really good ratchets on this. So I'm going to go ahead, take this off, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the detailing on him. Now, as you can tell, he's got some really good details on him. A lot of molded details here in the chest, some good. Really, look at that abdomen piece, really clear. On the sides, he's got the red. Now, I heard, even in my official, there was a lot of complaints about, oh, he's got so much paneling and the back was a nightmare and stuff. Well, speaking of the back, Infinite Transformations took care of that in a way with their own backpack cover, and that is awesome. I really dig it. And you're right, and you know, it does cover up that back. I wish Takara had thought of that, you know, knowing how much of an issue. But again, you know, especially if you're doing like toy photography and such, yeah, you're gonna want to go ahead and have that covered. You know, some great detailing on the legs, the thighs. On the inside, check that out. The light's hitting it just right, so you can see the details on that. You know, his head can. Might as well go ahead and just go ahead and do the whole articulation segment. So as you can tell, he can look up. He can not look down, depending if you're angling it. He can turn left. He can turn right, all the way around. Yeah. His hands or his arms can go 360. You can hear that wonderful ratchet. It can bend out like so. He's got an umbrella bend right here, or not umbrella, but butterfly bend. So that way, if you have like a type of sword and you want him holding it like so, boom, there you go. He's got a bicep swivel. His arms can bend. Oops, so far. For those that didn't see, he's got a bicep swivel, and his arm can bend beyond 90 degrees. He does have a great waist rotation. Now, there was a butterfly, oh, not a butterfly, but I want to say there was an ab crunch, but I'm not seeing it on here. But oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. Now, one thing I did notice is he does have his hip skirts. He also has his front part skirts here, so he can go ahead and kick high. Boom. And he can kick at 90 degrees. He can kick back so far like that because of the butt flap there. He does have thigh rotation. His knee can bend that far, which is awesome. His foot can point down, can point up. He does have ankle tilt. Now, one of the accessories that I had mentioned earlier, and I'm going to pull some of these bits and pieces and bobs out of the way to just clear up stuff. There we go. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Got a little bit of had to go ahead and take care of a couple of things real quick. So, so the next feature we're going to go ahead and look into is this ball mace. Now, what we can do here is slide off his hand. His hand can be slid off. And we're going to go ahead and just go. So we're going to go ahead and just slide that on. And maybe not. Let's try that over here. Ah, there we go. Ta-da! He's got balls! So I'm gonna go ahead and put his hand up like so. Yes. That is awesome. I like it. Alright. Now, one thing we're going to go ahead and do, and I'm going to slide this off. We need to go ahead and disconnect the chain. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. So the chain is off, and we're going to go ahead and put the peg alrighty, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and peg this on. There we go. Ta-da. And I'm going to pull this back a bit. Oh, yes. That is awesome. I like it. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and do some close-ups of his face and his chest. So give me a moment to make some arrangements. We'll get started. Alright, I'm back. And now we're going to go ahead and show off the three faces. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this face off. Whoop. Now, one of the things, and I didn't get a chance to tell you, what you're going to have to do is slide it off. So there, you just go hold your forefinger up, push it up with your thumb, and you have this nice inner robotic pudding. Look at that. Just like it showed in the 1986 G1 cartoon. That is awesome. Now, I'm going to go ahead and which face are we going to do? I'm going to go ahead and do the mad angry one. So, this is going to slide in like we did before. There we go. And zoom in here. And then just all right. Now I'm going to go ahead, take off that face, and we're going to go ahead and slide his rather stoic look. So we're going to slide that on there. And oops. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a closer look at it, and that is a good looking face. Alright, now the last one's going to be a twofer, because not only are we exchanging the face, we're also going to be exchanging the chest piece. So I'm going to take off this face. Whoop. That was not supposed to happen. There we go. Try not to push too hard, because those things will fly off, and if you're not careful, you're going to wind up losing a face. So in addition to that, we're going to go ahead and slide off the chest piece. And look at that. You can see the internal mechanisms. I'm going to bring that up front. man, that is awesome looking. So I'm going to go ahead and put this chest piece in. There we go. That's one. And the face. Oh, wow, really? There we go. Alright. Man, look at that. Man, oh man. Let's get a closer look at that. Phew. That is awesome. Man. Whew. That is awesome looking. So, alright. So there he is with his broken chest. And, I mean, from what I saw in the review that featured the Toy Factory Megatron, I see where they had done some painting along the cracks and everything else. Makes it stand out a little bit more. This one is not bad. I like it, you know. So I'm trying to see what I can do about putting in the label. If I need to go ahead and lightly, you know, with an X-Acto, just piece it. So I'll see what I can do on that. But let's go ahead and switch the switch the chest and the face piece, and we'll get started with transformation. Now I'm going to go ahead and because I'm pretty sure you've all seen videos and whatnot, so I'm not going to go ahead and rehash the same thing. You will see the transformation, but I'm going to go ahead and probably time-lapse this. So give me a moment and we'll get started. Alrighty. Now, originally I was supposed to have done this as a time-lapse thing. The thing about it is that there were certain areas that were, for lack of a better term, tough as fucking hell to try and move. And I had to be very careful because I was already getting frustrated. And when I get frustrated, I tend to break things. And the last thing I want is to try and force something that doesn't want to be forced. But after a little bit of finagling on certain areas, I was able to finally get it done. But damn it. No wonder, I mean, as much as the MP3 Megatron, is it MP3 or MP5? I'm trying to remember. But the first Masterpiece Megatron was, you can tell they were trying to go for the OG one look with that one. This one, they were trying to go ahead and model him after the cartoon. Man, this was this was a total clusterfuck here, folks. I don't know what else to say. It's a great figure. It's bulky in terms of the gun mode, and I mean, I don't know what to say. Once it's transformed into its gun mode, oh, okay. I can see where a lot of people were complaining, oh, it's so paneled and stuff. You know what? Fine. It's paneled. Big deal. Thing about it is that, you know, they made this to when he transforms into his gun, it's basically in proportion. So I think when I had Apollyon, that was a big issue too. So I don't know what to say on that, but I do know it's gonna be far and few in between that I'm gonna wind up transforming this into this mode. As a figure, it's great. I like it. What they did, you know, for the back to cover that mess up, that was awesome. I mean, when it comes down to like the battle damage and stuff, they probably could have done some weathering, or at least, you know, some more shadows to go ahead and bring that out a bit. Same thing with the face here, yeah, especially around the helmet, because I think you know, the Toy Factory version, Toy House Factory version was spot on in terms of that. Let's see. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any batteries for this thing. Otherwise, I'd go ahead and demonstrate that. So that's one thing that I'll have to go ahead and look into. And come on, get in there. Jesus. Oh, for God's sake. Ah, there we go. God. I don't know how long it took me to go ahead and try and transform this. And I tried to transform it using time lapse, and I just got frustrated because I had to constantly look back. Eventually I had to look back on a video to where it guided me part of the way to where I can finally figure out the rest of the process. But like I said, putting it in this mode is definitely not one of the fun things about this. So will I put it, you know, put it back in weapon mode? Probably not. I can tell you that much. I am putting on the accessories on this thing. So let's see here. And come on. Oh, hold on, folks. I'm gonna have to. Oh, damn it. Much better. Okay, so had to put the stock and the. There we go. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off of here, and there we go. Wow, that is a beast right there, man. Sheesh. And like I said, will I put him back in? Yeah, you saw everything under there. Will I put him back in his weapon mode? Probably not after all this. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to do that again. So, I'm going to go ahead, take the opportunity and put him back into robot mode. I'm going to give you my final thoughts, okay? Okay. Normally I would say, there he is, folks, in excitement, but as much as I wanted him, he was a motherfucker to transform, man. Not just to his weapon mode, but back into robot mode, which is becoming a little bit smoother now after going through this. Now, if I continue transforming him, it may become second nature after a while. But at this point in time, I may just keep him, in robot mode. He's a cool figure. He's every bit as cool as the MP36 Megatron that I had previously. I will probably go ahead and put on some repo labels on his chest. Let's see here. I definitely need to go ahead and put some batteries for this thing here. Let me see. Well, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it now. But he's a great masterpiece. He's as close to the original G1 cartoon design as you can get at this point. The backpack, the cover, pretty much helps out this figure a lot. Honestly, I really wish Takara had gone ahead and, gone through the process of actually, putting something like that for there. Now, I think I may have heard there was a third party that was trying to do that for Toy House Factory. I don't know if they're going to do it for the Takara masterpiece version. I hope they do. Let's see here. But other than that, I'm glad I went ahead and picked him up. Like I said, he was a pain in the ass to transform. But I am planning on getting the Transform Elements Op Leader. He's the closest in terms of tune accuracy, especially for Optimus, that I may go ahead and get. Granted, I have seen, Masterpiece MP44 Optimus or Convoy in there. It looks cool and everything, but he is just way so out of my price range, and I really doubt he's going to get any cheaper on the secondary market. So, Op Leader is probably the best bet for me in this case. But nonetheless, I like this figure. As soon as I get the Op Leader, I'll pretty much show them off, see how they scale. So there he is, folks. Infinite Transformation 01, Emperor of Destruction, also known as, third party Megatron. So if you have any comments, suggestions, something you want to see on the show, something you want me to talk about, leave them in the comments section down below. Like, share this video, subscribe to it. It will do my channel a world of good. If you ring the notification bells, you will get notified on new and upcoming videos. Sign in or join up with my Patreon. Contribute to the channel in any way, shape, or form, whether it's monetary, letters, fan art. I do have a P.O. box that I'm going to leave again in the descriptions down below. And let's make this channel a little bit more, let's do more with it. I'm counting on you, my viewers. Let everyone know that, I put up a video, once a week or once every other week. So, even if it's an old figure, it's still cool to me. So, I'd like to at least thank you all for watching. This is FEDEX Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.